So, well, if we look at this, don't tell me Bitcoin's retesting this and it's going to go higher because I'm going to be annoyed because I'm waiting for lower prices. Don't get me wrong, we're still not out of this conundrum and this calamity of a downtrend which we've noticed on Bitcoin for a while, but it looks like potentially this is the closest we're going to get to it. This looks like potentially we could have it, but the only thing that doesn't tell me that we are going to go higher, there's only one thing, in fact two things, this downtrend firstly, and secondly, this not a swift V-shaped recovery. It's not strong enough. I know this bounce was quite hard, but usually on downturns you see a swift V-shaped recovery, sort of like this. Let me try and draw it on for you guys. Where is the paintbrush? Right here. So it goes like this and up like that, and then it goes higher. Do you get what I'm saying? It goes a lot like that. However, it hasn't actually happened this time. But that's okay. We'll try and move from this point onwards. Bitcoin is looking like it's going to do Bitcoin things in the medium to long term. Don't get me wrong. I still expect like 200 150k, something like that, because I don't think it's over. We're still in a bull market. We're still in a macro uptrend. The rates still haven't been cut. Maybe we get an earlier cycle like everybody's saying. It doesn't matter really. We are still in an uptrend. And we have to believe it is bearish up until we are confirmed bullish again, just because we have to be pessimistic, because this market can become rotten very quickly. We could easily come down to dirty levels such as 51k and we could still be in a bull market. We could come all the way down to this level and still be in a damn bull market, so we have to be very careful. What is the fear and greed index saying today? My tabs need to be cleaned because there's way too many tabs open at the moment. So we are still in fear, which is good. We still need that washout. If we look at Telegram today and we have a little look at Gem Hunters, so their analysis, BTC could not close above 86k, which indicates more chop for the rest of the week. We did tap the CME gap at that level but rejected afterwards as expected. Liquidity was also taken to the upside, but now we have some forming at 86.5k. This may cause a spike higher before eventually coming down to retest the 80-81k support. The RSI is curving to the upside, while stochastic RSI is overbought and curving to the downside, which indicates more indecisions, but likely a move lower in the short term. This week will be volatile, so stay flexible and manage risk accordingly, especially with the data that's coming out. And with there being liquidations at them levels, I think we could get one last flush out the week. Major resistance. Let's look at this then. Yeah, it couldn't actually go, but the trend line, it has broken. It might be retesting it, flipping it into support. Could get a major breakdown, hopefully, to about 80-81k, which would make sense, which would be beautiful, and then we might set off higher. It make complete sense. Yeah, look, this is major resistance. And 87k wick upwards, and hopefully come down again. I know I am a bear at the moment, I'm not usually, but I want cheaper prices. Let's look at bookmarks, because Trump's doing a madness. Bro literally saved me last year.
It looks sketch. I don't recommend buying Mantra. I was doing some research. I looked into it. It looks sketch, like really sketchy.
Mantra
But I'm
went
gonna find
down
my other.
92%. 92%? Are you kidding me? Imagine being heavily invested into real world assets. Nobody's gonna have the time for this. Mantra garbage. 91%, bruh. Look at that. That's disgraceful. Uh, Imagine holding that. That's why you need stop losses. Not bullish, not bearish, washed in the blood. Mantra's disgusting, bruh. Partnered with one of the biggest property companies in the United Arab Emirates, essentially, rug today. This industry just simply isn't serious. It's not even funny. In a niche that's supposed to be considered real world applicable, the biggest players can't even be trusted. Facts, man. Donald Trump says there was no tariff exemption announced on Friday. We thought we were going to get an exemption just for him to say whatever he wants. He just says what he wants. He ain't serious either. This whole space ain't serious. I'm currently seeing this move up as a red wave B, but if you break above the Sunday high, it could mean wave 2 already wrapped up. The structure still needs to confirm, but the setup is getting interesting. Could be a fun week ahead. Come on, man. Bring it back to the 4-wave level. Then we get 81k. I will bet my actual life that Brett goes above 1 bill again, you rodent. Would you bet your life against me he has signed the contract? Yo, he's got some mad conviction in Brett, and Brett is looking solid. I looked at it today. Brett is looking solid. I know it was completely oversold, but it's looking solid, bruh. It's found its ground. This doesn't look nice, the overall chart, but looks solid, man. Mantra's disgusting, man. White House says Trump has no plans to speak with about the tariff war. That's the China president. So that doesn't look good. China calls on United States to completely to cancel tariffs, and after they said that, he doesn't want a word with him. How is this market not nuking? I expected it to nuke after they said that. Bitcoin is holding up well, man. 84,800. When you look at the top 200 coins on CoinMarketCap, none of them could pull off a double as the number one meme coin on base. Massive bullish divergence in the chart for Brett. Is there massive bullish divergence? Get ready for a warm-up pump. Come back to this in 7 to 14 days to show you how it pumps more than most, if not all the coins in the top 100. Don't make me buy Brett now. Global liquidity is exploding. Eventually Bitcoin's going to set off. Please listen to gold, silver and Bitcoin. What are they telling you? Gold is at an all-time high. Demand for silver exploding and Bitcoin is roaring. You're listening. Repeating myself. I warned one of the biggest stock and bond market crash in history was coming in my previous books. Who stole my pension? Rich Dad's Prophecy. That giant crash has arrived. The corrupt and crooked US dollar has been wiped out. Savers of stocks, bonds, ETFs and mutual funds are being wiped out. Their wealth stolen by a sinister global banking cartel known as central banks, led by the Bank of International Settlements, Bank of England, Bank of Japan, European Central Bank, and in the US known as the Fed. Aren't you fed up? Please take care, it's not too late. Those who take action and acquire real gold, silver and Bitcoin, they come out of this premeditated disaster. The new rich and the new leaders of the world. What are you going to do? Go back to college, get another degree, get deeper in debt with more student loans and learn nothing about money? Much less learn nothing about the real world of money. But gold, silver, they need to be studied and we need to actually get on board with them, because gold, silver and Bitcoin are the ones that are going to go higher for show. Because it's real currency, man. It's real money. Coinbase. You can't trust this fake US dollar. And by the way, it's actually getting to a point where it's getting worrying, because if you look at the Dixie, people are actually losing faith. And not only is stocks going down, the Dixie's also bleeding, which is disgusting. Because usually when stocks go down, the Dixie goes up, because people have a flight to safety, but they're not going to the Dixie. They're going to gold, which means they trust gold more. Which means the US dollar may no longer be the superpower it once was. Because Coinbase have only been listing memes with 1+ year. This is why Benji and Ski will be next to get listed. Benji's 1 year, and so Ski. Quantitative easing will send ETH to 10k quick. Quantitative easing is needed for Ethereum to move. CPI falling, PPI inflation falling, DXY falling. Most importantly, my portfolio is falling. I think the Fed need to step up and cut rates to save our portfolio. They do, bruh. We're getting cooked. Dollar down means Bitcoin up. Trump plan exposed. Might be going down till the 1st of May. Hopefully. So we're going to go up and down. Hopefully, I hope. I was thinking about shorting Nvidia today as well. Might be a bit of a retracement and then we're going to 95k is what we're thinking. This guy's long on crypto as well.
To most of you, but ever since selling the top right around inauguration in January, I'm actually long on majors for the first time since then. So this is something that I've been discussing in a lot of my recent videos over the past few weeks, where I've discussed that this level down here, this breakout level around 74 to 72k, this was the prior, all-time high level before the Trump election. This was an area of interest for me where the risk reward for short significantly diminishes and the risk reward for longs therefore increases by a lot. And ever since then, we've actually gotten some developments with the tariffs, as well as some very constructive price action on some alts and some of the majors. So this is what I'm going to be discussing today. As you know, there's some big opportunities in the markets that I can see over the next few days or few weeks if we have continuation after this weekend, right? But first of all, I want to discuss, obviously, there's going to be people in my comment section saying, oh, well, you told us your coins are going to zero. Like, you can't just long again. Well, first of all, that is the best way to spot anyone who is a terrible trader, is that they're stuck in this mindset of right and wrong. There's no right and wrong. Simply put, in the markets, we are here to make money. So if there is a clear trend in a certain direction, then I'm going to be riding that trend no matter, wherever it takes me, right? Whether it's up or down. And second of all, I'm not saying that this is the start of another bull market. This is something that I've been saying for a long time, actually, in most of my videos, is that, like, this region down here was an area of interest where I expected a significant bounce because this is the do-or-die level for Bitcoin, right? Any all-time high retest is a do-or-die level, so I do expect significant bounces off that level. This is not suddenly some long signal where I'm saying that alts are going back to all-time highs. Not even close to that. I still believe that most of them are going to zero on very high time frames. But simply put, this is a good risk-reward area where I longed this morning, and I want to share exactly what my thought process was. And also, I mean, simply put, like, I've been shorting since the top, right? Like, I mean, I've been telling everyone since the inauguration that this was a self-news event and that I was publicly short, right? I mean, I don't see a single other person on Twitter who was discussing how they were publicly taking short positions. I mean, discussed how I was 8 figures short and ended up making even more than that during the entire time. Telling people that I was, shorting Solana to zero, and ever since then it's been down, over 60, 70%. So I've been making videos the entire way down, telling people that this was, the end of most of their coins, and that has remained true. What will continue to remain true is that alts during this time will experience significant, underperformance, I believe, for the most part, except for maybe a few that I will discuss today. And ever since then, obviously, last week we had the liquidations where I discussed these inverse charts on Solana as well as XRP. And ever since then, I mean, obviously we had the big wicks down, where these levels ended up having the breakdown that I discussed here. Ended up making a lot from those shorts, as well as an XRP went from around $2 where I was shorting to around 160 in about one single night. And my last video that I covered with Brian discussed how this was a very likely outcome with the inverse charts. And shout out to my Discord. I've been recording all my trades there as well.
I actually want to see what he
some
says.
big wins over the past.
You guys can
few
check
weeks.
him out, but I will be watching that later. Ski
If I'm
Master
looking
getting
for the
some
most
love.
high reward opportunity, I'm still coming back to my Ski Dog. At the time of filming this video, Ski Dog is at 3 cents. It's at $32 million market cap, and I would not be surprised if we see Ski Mask break over $100 million market cap and start creeping its way to $250 million. And from there, if the market is continuing to heat up, Bitcoin is doing its thing, there is still a very strong chance that I see Ski Mask breaking over $1 billion.
This guy chats a load of maccas though, I can't lie. He's been wrong about a lot of things on rug pulled. Call me crazy, but I don't think I trust this breakout on BTC. Low volume, overbought stochastic on a weekend. If we remain over 84k through Monday, I'll look for higher, but for now, this seems sketchy. It does, man. Revolut's top 3 holdings include Pepe, a meme coin. Do what you want with that information. That's crazy, bro. They want to be part of the meme coin mafia gang. It was all pumping yesterday, but the US announced tariff exclusion for key products including computers, smartphones and chips. And you know what's mad? He said they're not excluding it and it's not certain. It's madness, bro, what he's doing with this market. He's making it a joke. Brr, we need them money printers. The Fed is reportedly absolutely ready to stabilize the market if needed. Holy moly. Send this to the moon, bruh. Not this. This. Please, bruh. Please.